Hello friends, I am Ganinder Sidhu. The ultimate aim of every human life is to attain happiness, to have a blissful life. And so far humanity has invented different devices to attain that happy life. For me, the most practical and the method which is rooted in reality is that of Mahatma Buddha. And that is end of suffering. It seems strange, but it is true that the road to happiness goes through end of suffering. Mahatma Buddha was a very scientific in this approach because a sick man can only be cured only if the sickness is removed. In this way, we can attain happiness only if the suffering or the patterns of suffering are removed from our life. And there is no doubt that the causes of suffering are not outside, but within us. Actually, we are following such patterns through which the suffering is bound to come. And very strangely, despite our knowledge of the outcome of suffering, we are repeating those patterns. Sigmund Freud has given a wonderful concept, that is repetition and compulsion. According to Sigmund Freud, that there are certain patterns through which the suffering or misery is inevitable, but still we keep on repeating. And he wondered that what is the compulsion to repeat that pattern again and again. If we look into our lives, we can find such patterns within us. For example, a regular alcoholic person, he keeps on drinking every day, despite the knowledge that it is bound to bring a very severe kind of hangover, severe headaches. It can badly affect the health of the person. But despite all these knowledges, they keep on repeating that same pattern. And according to Mahatma Buddha, if we want to end our suffering, we have to come out of such patterns. And this is what is meant by self-liberation, freedom from the self. Like my favorite line of a qawwali from the movie Rockstar, Kar de mujhko mujhse hi reha. Ultimately, we seek liberation from such patterns which we have inculcated within us. Here the poet is saying that please liberate me from my own self. From what? From those patterns which are continuously, repeatedly causing suffering and misery. We keep wandering here and there to find the happiness or the ways of attaining happiness. Whereas everything is within us. Every solution is within us. Here I remember a very beautiful Zen story. According to that story, a gambler, he goes to a Zen master and he says that I'm suffering a lot due to my habit of gambling. Please help me to get rid of this habit. And Zen master, he goes and holds a pole and starts shouting at that gambler that please liberate me, please liberate me. And the gambler says that what are you doing? It's you who is holding the pole. Just leave it. And Zen master says that same is the case with you. It is not that the gambling is holding you, but you are holding the gambling. In this way, it is not the objects of suffering which are holding us, but we are holding them. We have become magnets of sufferings. So if you need to have a happy life, we need to come out of such patterns. Now the very important question is that how to come out of these patterns. And here again for me, Osho comes very handy. He says that awareness, self-awareness, is the weapon with which we can chop the ropes which are holding us. If while doing those patterns which are leading to the misery, we are fully conscious, we are fully aware about our patterns, and from that awareness, if we truly accept our weaknesses for those patterns and understand them deeply, then they will automatically drop. Those patterns will drop like a snow from a leaf. We will not be aware that when that habit, that pattern is gone. So in this way, the happiness begins when our suffering ends. And suffering ends when we identify our own patterns which are causing those sufferings. For that, we need to be fully self-aware, very honest about our own self. By way of this, we can get rid of those patterns which are causing misery. And once those patterns and sufferings are moved, we can very easily attain happiness. And this is a sure short way of happiness and bliss. With these words, I conclude this episode here. Thank you.